fellow Jacob here. And, well, I figured since I just got home from Denver, thought I'd show off a few things that I picked up while I was in Denver. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. And also, a little precursor. The Vikings are getting absolutely blown out in this game, but like I say, expect a post-game video later, which I will say will be primarily a positive one, because this season, I think for me and a lot of Vikings fans, we can, well, honestly and truthfully say, well, I wouldn't say it exceeded expectations, but let's just say this year for Kirk Cousins showed just how good of a quarterback he actually is, even if the media doesn't necessarily want to believe it yet. Even though I will say Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels have been showing him a little bit of love tonight. Even with all the media narratives and blah, blah, blah. But still, like I say, with the 49ers, yeah. Anyway, I'll just break all that down later. Now, back to the pickup. So yeah, as I said before, I was in Denver for a couple days, visiting family. Just got back a couple hours ago, and I am exhausted. But I'd say it was a lot of fun. So one of the days when I was down there, my dad and I toured Empower Field at Mile High, a.k.a. Mile High Stadium there in Denver. And, oh, baby. Even though I might not be a true-on Broncos fan, I will have to say the Broncos are my top three. It's obviously Vikings, and then tied between the Broncos and Chiefs, I would say. They're kind of 2A, 2B, to be honest with you, but if I had to, probably more Broncos and Chiefs, just because, well, I do have a decent amount of Broncos stuff for being a Vikings fan, but again, that's neither here nor there. So, yeah, I went on tour, got a few free items, and also went to the pro shop and picked up a couple of things. So, first off, here's the official Broncos team store bag. And when I mean the official team store, I mean 1701 Mile High Stadium Circle number 300. Right off of gate 10. So yes, this is literally the pro store that's attached to the stadium. Or at least the main one. There might be a few smaller ones throughout, but this was at least the main one. So, bam! Here's the rest of it. So yeah, as you can see here, I got quite a few different items and different trinkets to show off. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and show off some more stuff. First thing I'll show off are these cards. As you can see here, here are some Pat Bowlen cards. R.I.P. Pat Bowlen, who just passed away recently. Here's a Super Bowl Pat Bowlen card. See if it'll focus here. I don't know why my phone is not wanting to focus on this one for some reason, but it's one of their Super Bowl wins. I want to say either the first or second one with Elway. See if we can see the year here. But yeah, it's one of the ones with Elway in them. Here's another one, just along the sidelines. Now we have some player cards. Of course, if you have a Broncos card deck, you have to have Champ Bailey. Arguably one of the greatest defensive backs to ever play, let alone not just for the Broncos. Another Champ Bailey. A little more modern uniform. And also his Hall of Fame card he was just inducted either, I want to say it was this past year, 2019. It was either 2018 or 2019. And then just, so yeah, like I said, that was just a free pack of cards that I got. Decent little haul. I mean, obviously nothing crazy or anything. And then the second thing I got were a couple of old game programs. First one was the from the Lions and Broncos game, week 16, when they were their Color Rush Sunday alternate. I'm still not exactly sure if they're technically called Color Rush anymore or what they're called, but yeah. This was the Lions-Broncos game where the Broncos won. Can't remember the exact score. And then with, I also forgot to show this, Justin Simmons, who I will say is emerging into what could potentially be a very, very, very good young safety in this league. So, be interesting to see how well he does this year. And moving forward. And of course, the future, Drew Lock. As well as the Raiders-Broncos Week 17 game, where the Broncos won what actually turned out to be a very, very good close game. I remember watching the tail end of that after the Vikings-Bears game, and that turned out to be a pretty good game. But yeah, as I said before, Drew Lock, look out. He could be a real force to be reckoned with in the next few years. And hopefully, just for John Elway's sake, I hope they finally freaking found a quarterback that, well, lasts. Because it seems like Elway's track record, other than Manning, hasn't really been good with his quarterback play. Let's just put it that way. And also, I got this rally towel. Broncos versus Seahawks, kickoff 2018. Again, I can't exactly remember what the score was in that game, but, or even who won that game, to be honest with you, but this was always kind of nice to get a couple, free rally towel. That'll definitely go nice in the man cave room. And on to the stuff I actually bought at the Pro Store. The first thing I bought, bam, is this Broncos New Era 5950. I believe this was their 2017 official sideline hat. In the size 7 7/8. Yeah, I tried it on and it actually fit in my head. I'd say a lot better than the 8 that I normally wear. As you can see, this had the old liquichrome sort of like rubbery NFL shield that you'll see a lot on the primarily the new Vapor Limited and Vapor Authentic jerseys. And then of course still has all the tagging on it and price tags and all that stuff. Got it for $15, and yeah, another reason why I'm always a little hesitant about buying stuff straight from the stadium. This was normally about a $40 hat, but as you can clearly see here, $44.99, but I got it for $15. And last but not least, the pièce de résistance. And of course, if you know me at all, I sort of collect these things, if you haven't noticed. I got a Broncos jersey. I got myself an Emmanuel Sanders Broncos jersey. Very, very underrated receiver for the Broncos. Was one of their number one go-to guys for a long time. And now he's absolutely tearing up the Vikings secondary. As well as he's just been a really bright spot for the 49ers as well. Now, I don't know exactly how the terms ended with him and the Broncos, but let's just say I bet the Steelers choosing now between Sanders and, Antonio Brown. I think they probably would have gone with Sanders, but again, who would have thought that Antonio Brown would have literally fallen off a freaking cliff? But anyway, so yeah, this is a Nike game Denver Broncos Emmanuel Sanders size 2XL. So yeah, this has the screen printed, sort of like, I guess not really a screen printed, but more like a heat pressed on 10, the Bronco. The jock tag still has the tagging on it. And I got this at the Pro Shop as well got it for about $50 or so. Don't know how well that's going to show up on here. And then the back. Again, Sanders just sort of that screen printed, heat pressed, ironed on with the ironed on 10. So yeah, that was my Broncos Stadium Tour haul of goodies. And yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining one bit. Like I say, if you ever get the chance to go on a stadium tour, do it. You will not be disappointed. So, until we meet again, this is Jacob, and you guys have a wonderful night.